What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. I'm Evil Eddie, of course, from frontproofmedia.com, MMA UK. Just waking up, getting ready for my day here, as you can hear. Later to those dogs. Yeah, that's the first thing you want to hear when you wake up, right? A bunch of dogs bark in your ear. But let's get into UFC 213 last night. It's a crazy weekend. We're wrapping up International Fight Week. Last night could have been so much better. There was still a lot of star power on it, even though we lost Amanda versus Valentina, which I was looking forward to. But we didn't just lose that. We also lost, and a lot of people probably don't remember, we lost Cody Nola versus TJ Dillashaw. That was like the whole reason behind the season Ultimate Fighter, season 25. That never went through. And then there's a couple other fights that weren't on this card that I was looking forward to as well. So it's a little upsetting, but at the end of the day, we still had a lot of stars here, but not what I wanted, though. I wanted to see more finishes. We're going to be talking about it in just a second here. Let's start right off with the main event. We have a new interim champion, which really in my world doesn't mean much unless you have the belt, the actual belt. It doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, you're definitely next in line now, but if you think back to the caveman days, there's one woman, there's one queen. In every division, there's one queen. There's one belt. There should only be one belt. And everyone should be trying to get to the top to get that belt. The cavemen used to fight over women. They want the queen. There's only one. You can't clone that. You don't clone that. They don't have the interim queen. That doesn't even make sense at all. At all. So, big win for Robert Whittaker. Definitely sore for Yoel Romero because, of course, he was supposed to be next in line. Once he beat Chris Weidman, I didn't think he needed to fight again. He should have immediately had the title shot against Bisping. Bisping has not fought in... When was the last time Bisping had his fight? Against Dan Henderson. So that was like, what, UFC 199, I feel like. Maybe, where was it after that? I can't recall right this second. But an amazing night for both these guys to step in there, have the shot, get the interim title. Robert Whittaker, though, going in that first round, he hurt his leg. So I got a little worried here. And, of course, you guys see my picks over here to the right-hand side. I did pretty well last night. I really thought Robert Whittaker would get the knockout in the third round against Yoel. Well, he looked good in that first round. I scored the first round 10-9, Whittaker. The second round, Yoel was doing great. He was looking good. Whittaker was able to make the adjustments, though. And in the third, fourth, Yoel Romero was inactive. Really didn't do much there. I mean, he had the takedowns and stuff like that, but really inactive. The leg kicks. He was very explosive. And there was one thing about Robert Whittaker that I really liked about his plan here. He just kept doing the front kick, the oblique kicks, and it was just throwing Yoel off. Really not letting him do the explosive flying knee or anything like that. At least not landing anything significant. And Whittaker even rocked Yoel at one point in the fight. But then again, guys, I wanted to see a finish. We did not get it. Congratulations to Robert Whittaker. He is now the first champion in New Zealand. I mean, you're not really a champion until you get the interim shot. 26 years old. Absolutely crazy. Congratulations for this kid. That's a tough division to be in, without a doubt. Then we got into a very controversial fight. Verdum versus Overeem. Now, I was looking forward to this fight as well. Thought it would be a finish. Unfortunately, we did not see a finish. Every time Verdum steps in there, I always love what he just jumps in there, flying kick, just doing all this crazy shit. And he definitely delivered last night. The judges scored this in favor of Overeem. Now, I started screaming at the TV after thinking about it for a little while. I could understand why they went with the Reem here, but honestly, let's see how I scored this. Honestly, I thought Verdum did enough. I mean, he was doing some great combinations, the 1-2 and then the left-right, landing with the kick. Landing a lot of overhands. Overeem, he was just, the fear was there in the first round. The guys really didn't do much. I was kind of falling asleep. Then it started picking up a little bit. Overeem started opening up. Verdum definitely, without a doubt, won that second round. So it really came down to the third and final round. And then Overeem had a couple of moments, but Verdum was able to just lay and pray and just wind out the rest of the clock. I thought that he did enough to win it. Unfortunately, the judges saw it differently. So Overeem getting the win there. And then Curtis Blades going up against, or no, that's not right. Yeah, no, it is right. Curtis Blades was before that. I scored that fight perfectly. The grappling of Blades, the elbows that he was landing, he was just a monster in there. But you know what? His opponent landed one really nice big knee to the chin. Blades, man, I've interviewed him before in the past on cage side submissions. Definitely go check those guys out. Based out of Philadelphia. He's a tough dude. I interviewed him after his last fight. He was so pissed off still about that one loss that he had against Francis Ngannou. He wants that fight back, but Francis, man, he's just on a killing spree, and now he's got a very important fight, the biggest fight of his life coming up. So we're gonna see if Blades can get another great opponent, and we'll see what happens after that. But once you're in the UFC, you're facing another guy who is pretty equal to you. Everyone's, you know, getting behind these two, and you lose. It takes a little bit to get your footing back in place, but he's doing just that. He's got, I think, 2 wins since then, maybe 3. He's doing great, and I scored every single round for him last night. So congratulations to Curtis Blades. And then we had Showtime Pettis against Jim Miller. Now, I had Showtime Pettis. I really thought he was going to be able to get the knockout in the second round. To me, it seemed like we got Showtime Pettis back. He returns to 155. He looked great. And Jim Miller, as we know, as a lot of you guys know, was one tough son of a bitch. I was a little nervous because in the past we've seen Anthony Pettis have some trouble with wrestlers like Eddie Alvarez. He just gets smothered. He did a great job keeping his distance, working the kicks. Jim Miller, he just kept pressing forward, man. He's a tough dude. I scored it first and second and third round, all for Showtime Pettis. He even almost finished Miller. He was very confident. I like that. I like that we saw Showtime Pettis get his confidence back. This was the first guy ever to have his face in the UFC on a Wheaties box. If you guys remember that fight with Benson Henderson, that infamous, or the famous wheel kick off the cage. Can never forget that. If you've never seen that fight, I definitely tell you guys, go on YouTube, search Showtime Pettis highlights. It'll probably be the first thing that shows up. I'm interested to see what's next for Showtime. It seemed like we got him back. He had a little rocky start. There was some things going on at his house. His cars were lit on fire. There was a lot of changes going on in his life. He dropped down a weight class, broke his hand in the fight against Max Holloway. He returns to 155, and he gets a tough opponent like Jim Miller. After beating somebody like Jim Miller, especially the way he did last night, I got excited. I'm excited to see what's next for Showtime now. So, congratulations to Showtime Pettis. It looks like we got our boy back. Then we had Font versus Silva de Andrade. Now, Font, I wanted him to win by a knockout in the third round. He does it in 2. Knockout in the second round. A beautiful fight. Combos, the 1-2 with the knees. Stayed very active. That entire first round, I was like, can he keep this up? Second round goes in there and finishes him. So, congratulations to Font. And then another upsetting one. And Travis Browne, you know, moving on now, guys. Travis Browne, this is his 4th fight he's lost in a row. Now, 2 fights ago, people were already saying, you got to make changes. Change your camp. Everyone's blaming Edmund. You know, we can talk for hours about this. There's a lot of people that train with Edmund that have left Edmund. There's some people that are staying loyal to him. We don't have to say names. We all know who we're talking about here. Of course, Ronda Rousey. Travis Browne is the fiance now. Is it karma for what he did in the past? For cheating on his wife, leaving his wife and kids? Going with Ronda Rousey? I don't know. If you believe in that, fine. But to me, you got to make changes, man. You cannot stay with the same coaches. Or maybe you do. You got to switch something up. Something's not working here. 4 fights in a row. And I'm not saying you didn't have a tough opponent last night, but if you told me 2 years ago that Travis Browne would be on a 4-fight losing streak, I probably wouldn't believe you. This is a guy in that weight division that moved like a middleweight. The foot movement, the boxing skills, the up kicks. He was a man to be feared. Look back at the fight against Brandon Schaub. He even, before that, like, he was a man to be feared. And now, like, what is going on, dude? What's going on? What changes does this guy need to make? I can name 5 of them right now for you. but I won't. And I'm not going to be the guy that tells somebody to leave a camp or leave your coach. I'm not going to put the blame on it. At the end of the day, it's up to Travis Brown. He's heard it all before. Not just from us media guys, not just from the fans, but I'm sure close friends at this point got to be talking to him, being like, man, what are you doing here? And you know what? I did get excited for a little bit. A couple months ago, there were rumors that Travis Brown did leave Edmond Taverdian, but that was false. He did make just some changes. And then he had in his corner, instead of having Edmond in his corner, because that was an embarrassing time when he was going up against Verdum, and Edmond got in the middle of the octagon and started throwing shade at Verdum. And Verdum tried to throw like a kick at Edmond Taverdian. It's just not professional. Doesn't look good, especially after a loss like that. So he did end up having Ray Sefo, former President World Series of Fighting, K1 kickboxer, and coach, trains alongside Mark Hunt. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there know who I'm talking about here. Has him in his corner. Did not work out for him. So what changes does Travis Brown need to make? This is just a sad thing. Like I said, if you told me 2 years ago Travis Brown would be on a 4-fight losing streak, I wouldn't believe it. I would not freaking believe it. Brown gets finished in the second round. Then we had Chad Laprise versus Camozzi. And we get Laprise with the win in the third round with a minute and 27 seconds left. Amazing fight there. But you know what, guys? There was so much star power originally supposed to be on this card. I thought there could have been a lot more finishes, a lot more excitement. I mean, you could be pissed at me. I'm going to be asking you guys in just a second here to rate this card. You know, for a pay-per-view, I really thought they should have given this for free. We lost a lot of star power on this card. I mean, of course, we had Whittaker versus Romero. We had Verdum versus Overeem on there. But the rest of that main card, who really spent money wanting to see that? I mean, you lost a lot of stars. And if we did have at least that Valentina versus Amanda fight on there, then I could understand. But I just didn't agree with. And it might have been too late for them to make that decision. All right, the pay-per-view is off. We're going to give it to you for free. I'm interested to find out, you know, what the pay-per-view buys were. You know, I tuned in last night, but still, how many casual fans wanted to see an interim fight? A lot of people that don't know any of these guys. Just a thought. It's just a thought. You know, I don't think they've ever done that before, but, you know, if you lose a couple title fights, Cody Nolov, TJ Dillashaw, Valentina Shevchenko versus Amanda at the last second. And let me say this. There's people out there saying that Amanda Nunes was shook, that she went to the hospital, the doctor said there was nothing wrong with her. I don't believe it. For people saying that she was shook, she's scared, she was running, she was nervous, you don't know what was going on. To say that somebody that goes in and out, day in, day out, working their ass off, people don't understand what these fighters go through. To say that they're afraid, I mean, you could say she likes being the champion. Of course she loves being the champion. She doesn't want to lose it. I don't know exactly what's going on, but for people to be saying that she was shook and was running away, was too nervous to fight Valentina, I don't believe that for a second. So now the rumor is UFC 215 is now going to be stacked with all the people that we missed on this one, including Cody Nolov, TJ Dillashaw, Valentina, and Amanda. There's another one that was supposed to be on here that we didn't see either. And it's not coming to mind for some reason. There's supposed to be another, and I fucking can't think of it. Alright, so moving on. We had Bilal Muhammad before this. Or no, did we not? Oh, Santos versus Mersharp. Santos with the second round TKO. A lot of high kicks, flurries from Santos. I had him winning, and he gets it done. TKO with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left. Then we had our man Bilal Muhammad. Slow start in the first round, but he always picks it up. He always makes the adjustments he needs to, connects the dots, and that's what you see in a lot of champions. This guy came over from Titan FC as the champion over there. Came to the UFC, had a very tough opening fight up against Alan Jouban. That was his first fight. I actually spoke to Alan before that fight on cage side submissions, and I don't think he knew what he was getting himself into there. He almost finished. Bilal Muhammad almost finished Alan Jouban in the third round. I got so nervous for Alan. You know, that really showed me that Bilal Muhammad is ready to be in the UFC. Then he got placed at UFC 205. He was on Pure Evil MMA to talk with me. When was UFC 205 back? In October, I think he was on the show. You know, he was very excited to be on this card. He lost his original opponent, so they had a short notice fill-in, and he ends up getting knocked out. So put it to a little sour patch. He needed the win tonight. I knew that he could do it, and he looked phenomenal. He looked absolutely amazing tonight. I gave him all 3 rounds. I mean, you could throw some controversy there saying maybe he didn't win that first round. I'm winning all 3. You know, he made his debut 1 year ago from today in the UFC. So congratulations, Belal Muhammad. I think this was like his 4th fight. The wrestling, the takedowns, it was just all there for him. He just had the leg kicks. And it was working for him in the first round, but he wasn't able to hold up. Belal Muhammad, he's just an absolute beast. Absolute beast. What did you guys think about this card? Let's rate this card. You know, and even not as a pay-per-view. If you didn't see the pay-per-view, you did miss a lot of action. You know, it could have been better, like I said. But at the same time, you know, Curtis Blades going there, doing his business. Font getting the knockout. Showtime Pettis returning to form. Yoel Whittaker, that was an alright fight. I was really hoping Whittaker would get a knockout. Or Yoel would just do that flying pop, knock Whittaker out. But I didn't see that in Whittaker's future. It's Whittaker's time. He's a young kid. Now, his next fight against Bisping, I'm going to call it right now. I got Whittaker winning that all day. You know, Bisping, he gets better as the fight goes on. He's a great boxer. And he's had some hell of luck lately. People were saying that I was crazy when I picked Bisping to knock out Luke Rockhold, and that was right. Then I had Bisping winning against Dan Henderson. People told me I was crazy. Then he got H-bombed in that first round. I was like, oh no, not again. Able to recover. He gets better as the fight goes on. The Anderson Silva fight, that was absolutely crazy. I still want to see that rematch. But you know what, Robert Whittaker, he's going to deliver. Now, is this as exciting as the GSP fight? And I don't want to contradict myself because I was saying, you know, this fight doesn't really make sense. Yoel should be in there first in front of GSP. Is that fair? GSP was the champion, but not at this weight division. It's a fun fight. Bisping versus GSP is a fun fight. The Whittaker fight, I'm definitely down for it. It's definitely deserving. It's coming. There's no run from it. Either that or Bisping's going to get stripped. But at this point, I would like to see the GSP fight. You know, who do you guys want to see GSP fight, though? I think the Bisping, that's a fun matchup. I mean, Bisping's already on the Legend Killing Tour, like you said. Knocking out Silva. Getting the win against Rockhold again. Getting the rematch and winning against Dan Henderson. I mean, how perfect would it be if he gets matched up with GSP and then beats him? I gotta love the Monster. 2 for 4. I drink those every day. Matter of fact, I stopped drinking coffee and just been drinking Monster. It's part of my new diet. Chicken, vegetables, and Monster. Better than me. Some nuts. Probably sound nuts by saying that. But, yeah, GSP, man. Who do you guys want to see him fight? I mean, it's a fun fight. Bisping versus GSP, that's what I kind of want to see. But Whittaker, Bisping, it's still a fun fight. I'm calling it. If that goes down, Whittaker wins against Bisping. Bisping fights GSP. I'm calling it now. Bisping wins over GSP. Now, that could be coming up pretty soon. You know, Bisping's been saying that his knee's hurting, this and that. He didn't want to fight Yoel. Whatever. It's only a couple more months away. We'll see what happens. And GSP was saying he's ready to fight in just a couple of months. So, what's going to happen here? Can you bypass, look over Whittaker at this point? He's the interim champ. So can they have a title fight with Bisping and GSP now? I don't know. Can you? I think that's what they're aiming for. Will they strip Bisping and then make the fight? I don't think so. Let me know what you guys think about this on Twitter at Pure Evil MMA and at Evil_Echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. That's my personal profile page. Of course, the Pure Evil, you can find that on Facebook, Instagram. If we're rating this card, though, like I said, we were able to see Showtime come back. Rob Font getting the finish. Blades. The Overeem Verdum, that was an okay fight. Could have been better. The judges saw it differently than I saw it. Then the main event going the distance the way it did. Honestly, I think I give it a 3. And I usually don't go that low. Out of 5 stars, I'm giving it a 3. And I gave UFC Ultimate Fighter Season 25 from Friday, I gave that 4. And you know what? That was one of the best fights of the year. In my opinion, Justin Gaethje versus Michael Johnson, I think that was the best fight of the year. If not the best UFC debut ever. Come on. Very exciting fight. Justin Gaethje's always delivering. Conor McGregor even tweeted something out saying like that's what you call a fight or something like that. Getting the attention to Conor McGregor. And he's a guy that doesn't go on there on Twitter too much to talk about other fighters, congratulating him. But there he goes. Justin Gaethje making a great start for himself. You know, all these World Series of Fighting guys coming over. You know, you had David Branch making his return. Not an exciting fight when he came over. You know, and I expected that. I wasn't really expecting much out of him. I mean, I saw his last fight, World Series of Fighting, in New York City on New Year's Eve, and Marlon. I saw him, Marlon, and Justin all fight in the same night, World Series of Fighting, New York City, New Year's Eve, at Madison Square Garden Theater. Out of those 3 guys, Marlon and Justin I was most excited about. They would be making the biggest splash, but when they matched Marlon up against Rafael Sunsao, did not understand that. But then at the same time, you got to see where he enters at. Someone like Rafael Sunsao, I think he is ranked 3rd in the bantamweight division. That was a tough fight, and Marlon had his moments there, but Rafael Sunsao, man, put it punishing. Just absolutely crazy. And then Justin Gaethje, I was a little nervous about that with Michael Johnson, but it made sense. Out of Johnson's last 4 fights, he's only won 1. It made sense. He's a tough dude, technical. He's a great boxer, footwork. Justin Gaethje, he's always going to push forward, push the pace, and give it all he's got. He's got heart. That was my fight of the year. I think Friday's fight was way better than the pay-per-view, and it's crazy. Like I said, they should have given those for free. You lost a lot of star power tonight. I want to know what you guys think about this. Let me know on Twitter at Pure Evil MMA. I'm Evil Eddie, and I'm going to be announcing our pick'em winners before I leave here. So, in case we got any new listeners here, if you have the UFC Pick'em app, we do a fantasy league. So you make your pick, you get the card, you say, all right, I got Yoel Romero winning 2nd round TKO. You make all your predictions, you enter them, and you can join the league. We have a bunch of people from the Pure Evil Army here in this league. So if you want to get down on the next event, just message me on Twitter at Pure Evil MMA or Evil_Echo. So congratulations to Mean Gene from Mean Gene's Fight Scene. Jay LaFleur coming in 1st place. Also in 2nd, we got Max. In 3rd, and Chillzone 95. 4th, Leslie. Congratulations, Leslie. Matter of fact, Leslie tied me for 4th. And in 5th or 6th place, since I was tied for 4th, Pat. Pat's back. And 6th. 7th, Pazman. 8th, and Into the Storm. So it's Mike. 9th, Randy. 10th, Shelly. 11th, Disturbed. 12th, Salem, who was actually there. Shout out to Salem. Shout out to Sammy, and actually Jody as well, who was able to go to International Fight Week. I'm so jealous. I hope you guys had a blast. Thanks for tuning in to Pure Evil MMA. Congratulations to Jay LaFleur. Guys, I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, frontproofmedia.com, and MMA UK. Behave yourselves.